efforts in the past to address the situation had yielded minimal results. And if there is no concerted effort, if there is no concrete effort, efforts of all and sundry, Nigeria will not be able to meet the projected target of the Executive Order 009 by 2025. Also worried that, according to the United Nations Children's Fund, sanitation in Nigeria is very poor, with the vast majority of people in rural areas lacking decent toilets and latrines, with estimates about 122
Senate candidate-elect Duce, Dan Duce. Go ahead.
With estimates of about 122,000 Nigerians, including 87,000 children under the age of 5, die every year from diarrhea, intestinal worm infections, cholera, hepatitis, typhoid, and other preventable sanitation illnesses. Cognizant that if the current efforts are not improved upon, Nigeria may not achieve the Sustainable Development Goals number 6, which intends to attain water sanitation and hygiene wash. Resolves to urge the federal ministries of water resources, health, and environment to prioritize efforts on aggressive rural water and sanitation projects with a view to providing potable water and functional toilet facilities to achieve an open defecation-free society. Also urge the House of Representatives to establish a legislative caucus in Nigeria to be at par with its sister legislative bodies in the sub-Saharan African region, with a view to bring together a diversity of shared knowledge and raise awareness on water and sanitation issues to create collective action on open defecation. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Maki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Maki Elleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Madam Dore Kaugama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion heavily moved by my senior colleague, Honorable Sada Soli. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of Representative Sada Soli's motion on open defecation and the prayers contained therein, please say aye. Those against it, please say nay. What's your reason for being against it? Comrade. Somebody said nay over there. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Or maybe whoever said it, I heard the name. It's probably one of the people guilty of open defecation.
Mr. Speaker, it was not comrade that said it, it was Aminu Goro.
Aminu Goro is a comrade. Aminu Goro is a comrade. Are you not aware? The ayes have it. Honorable Senate candidate-elect, Representative Senate candidate-elect TJ Yusuf.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. I'm TJ Yusuf. I represent the people of Kaba, Bono, Ijumufera constituency. I'm from Kogi State. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, I come to a matter of urgent national importance of the need to safeguard the academic pursuit of Nigerian youths in Ukraine medical universities. Mr. Speaker, I pray that the relevant rules are suspended to allow me to take this motion now, Mr. Speaker. I so appeal.
All right, Representative Senator-elect, Senator candidate-elect TJ Yusuf believes has brought an application to suspend our rules for him to take a motion on academic pursuit of Nigerian youth in Ukrainian medical universities. Any seconder for that? Rubiga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, I'm Honorable Saidu Yusuf Miga. I represent Jahun Miga Federal Constituency. I'm from Jigawa State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by Representative Yusuf, Senator-elect. I so second. Thank you.
All right, those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Those two motions were taken in one application, suspension of rules and the fact that it's urgent enough. So go ahead and move your motion.
Thank you,
Ayes have
Mr.
it.
Speaker. My dear colleagues, thank you for the privilege of this. The House notes with serious concern that outright congratulation the plight of Nigerian youth studying medicine and dentistry and similar courses in different universities in Ukraine, whose academic pursuits have been thrown into uncertainty, confusion, and threat by the Medical and Dentistry Council of Nigeria, MDCA. Also note that the Medical and Dentistry Council of Nigeria, the body which regulates medical profession in Nigeria, through a statement on its Twitter handle, declared that medical and dentistry degree certificates obtained from Ukraine universities from 2020 by Nigerians will not be honored by the council until when normal academic activities resume in Ukraine. Further note that the MDCN in the same statement resolved not to recognize any online medical training, no matter how short, for Nigerian youth in Ukraine and any part of the world. Aware that from the information, some of these students have completed or still on the mandatory clinic attachment, which commenced in April 2022. Also aware that, contrary to the impression the MTCN is creating, vast majority of these students, either in year 3 to 6, only did online study for a few months in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which happened all over the world, and the past 3 months as a result of the ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia. Observe that there are thousands of Nigerian youth studying medicine and related courses in Ukraine universities, who by this MDCN regulation will not only be affected by, but their academic pursuit may be thrown into serious jeopardy. Also observe that the bulk of these students, having spent between 4 to 6 years in pursuit of their respective academic and professional ambition, going by the MDCN regulation, are in serious risk of not only losing these years of rigorous training, but huge financial loss to their parents. Disturbed that by this policy, the MDCN intend to truncate the academic pursuit and professional ambition of thousands of Nigerian students in Ukraine as a result of ongoing development that are not caused by them. Also disturbed that at a time when there are very obvious and glaring death of medical personnel in Nigeria, primary and secondary health institutions, which may grow worse, the MCN ruled out an insidious policy that may have deliberate consequences on the national health sector. Concerned that the MDCN did not explore other pragmatic and mutually benefiting strategies done by some other countries that will enable Nigerian medical students continue with their academic program without delay, distortion, or loss of time. Worried that if the MDCN policy is allowed to take effect, the overall consequences on Nigerian educational development, image amongst Committee of Nations, and more will be staggering. Resolved to 1, in the immediate call on the National and Dentistry Council of Nigeria to allow students in the 6th, that's the final year of their program, that have completed their final exam to register for the MDCN in Nigeria and allowed to prove themselves. 2, allow students in the 5th year of their medical program in Ukraine to be absorbed into medical schools in Nigeria universities to complete their program. 3, the federal government through the relevant MDAs to discuss with Ukrainian authority for universities to release the transcript of years completed from year 1 to 6 for Nigerian students willing to transfer to medical schools in Nigeria or other nations. 2, the House Committee on Education, Tertiary, Health Institution, and Foreign Affairs to engage with the leadership of Nigerian Medical and Dentistry Council of Nigeria, concern Ukrainian student parents from Nigeria, and the relevant MDAs to find a lasting solution to this challenge. I so move, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues.
Okay, Honorable Toby, did you want a second? Did you raise your hand, sir? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I want to second this motion regarding our students who, by unfortunate circumstance, not of their making, are in Nigeria. That the motion as moved by TJ is passed. I say second.
Okay. Honorable TJ, do you mind if we put the question, or you just want to add something? Put the question? Okay, thank you. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Moving on to yet another motion of urgent public importance. Honorable Gumi. Not working? Some of those mics are not working.
This is on. My name is Engineer Suleiman Abubakar Gumi, representing the good people of Gumi, Buku Federal Constituency from Zamfara State. I rise to ask for the leave of the House to allow me to take a matter of urgent public importance, which states the urgent need to stop the heinous crimes, attacks by bandits on communities in Gumi, and Bukuim local government and environment in order to bring sanity and support to the affected areas. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Ningi.
Right Honorable Speaker, my respected colleagues, I am Abdullah Saad Abdulkadir, representing Ningiwarji Federal Constituency of Bauchi State. I rise to second the motion on matters of urgent public importance, ably moved by Honorable Gumi. I so second.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Put the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Engineer Suleiman Abubakar Gumi, representing the good people of Gumi, Buku Federal Constituency. And the House apprehensive that 6 out of the 10 wards in Buku local government of Zamfara State are currently under siege by armed bandits, while the remaining 4 are experiencing daily raids. Saddened that in the last 1 week, particularly, these armed bandits have sacked over 30 communities in Buku local government within the following timelines. On Monday, 21st June 2022, armed bandits attacked Ruwan Rana, Bindin Mbaya, Ruwan Jema, Rafin Maiki, Buzuzu, Gizaza, and Maizago villages, where they killed 11 persons, injured many others, and also rustled cattle and destroyed properties in the process. Tuesday, 22nd June 2022, they attacked Gasahula, Fakon Idi, Tunga Dutse villages, and killed 4 persons in the process. On Wednesday, 23rd June 2022, armed bandits attacked Kurfat Enya Magaji, Tungar Bature, Tungar Hilani, Tungar Warai, and Rungumikaya villages and killed 16 persons while also rustling cattle and destroying properties. Thursday, 24th June 2022, they attacked Zugu village and burnt down the police station and set 3 local food silos with large quantities of foodstuffs ablaze in the area. They moved on to attack Duhua, Hillani, Dangamji, and Kisabi villages, killing 3 persons and raping women, while also destroying properties and rustling cattle in the process. Worried that these armed bandits move around in hundreds on motorcycles during the day, carrying out mayhem and sometimes spend about 2 days at a particular point. Disturbed that hardly a day passes by without an attack in the area, and as a result of this unending mayhem, residents in about 71 villages have fled their homes, while farmers have abandoned their farms for safety. Also disturbed that the implication of setting food silos ablaze and dispersing farmers from their farms at the peak of this farming season is in no doubt that an impending famine. Expected armed bandits have imposed levies on communities like Belgaje village of Bukuyum, and also asking for ransom monies from people they kidnap. Other villages are forced to go to farm for the bandits. Concerned that amidst the cruel situation, the police command in Zamfara has relocated from Zugu for fear of insecurity. Also concerned that it is obvious that the state government can no longer protect results. Observe a minute silent the continuous attack on communities and villages in Bukuyum local government and environments by armed bandits. 3, call on the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, including the National Emergency Management Agency, to
Honorable Abubakar Bichi.
Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Abubakar Bichi, member representing Bichi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kano State. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my colleague. Mr. Speaker, I so second.
A few members have asked me to thank you. I don't know what they're asking me to thank you for, but I thank you. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, we have not moved, we have not even gotten to the order of the day yet at 1:45, because we've been taking motions of urgent public importance. Honorable Isiaka, do you want to suspend your motion till tomorrow? It's not even on seat. So we'll move to the, it's not on seat. We'll move to the first order of the day, which is for okay, we have a minute silence. The last motion. All right. Please rise for a minute silence. The souls of the departed rest in peace. Other members, the first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Crop Science and Food Technology, Larry, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader, honorable members will recall that the bill was transmitted from the Senate, seeking. Leader, I'm really hearing conflicting reports about our bills for concurrence in the Senate. I'm really hearing conflicting reports.
Mr. Speaker, sir, like you directed, I am following up. I agree with you that there are a few bills that are still lying idle there.
Yeah.
And we have made some agreements with them.
There has to be reciprocity.
Oh, yes, sir.
We're sending bills over there and we're not getting concurrence.
Yes, sir. You know, especially with the development we have in the leadership of the Senate, the person in charge of taking all these bills, you know what happened? So we are going to have a very different relationship, inshallah.
Okay, so I now invite the Leader of the House to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues. I remain Ado Dogwa, Mr. Speaker, representing Dogwa Chudunwada Federal Constituency. I am from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, before I proceed on with the item on the order paper, Mr. Speaker, I would like to crave your indulgence and the leave of the House. Mr. Speaker, sir, I repeat, before I go on with the item on the order paper as you directed me, Mr. Speaker, it's my honor and pleasure to crave your indulgence and the leave of the House to use this very opportunity on this hallowed chamber, Mr. Speaker, to officially, I repeat, formally, on behalf of my colleagues, congratulate you on your 60th year anniversary. Mr. Speaker, I would like to use this opportunity to once again pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to guide you, protect you, and grant you the wisdom to continue to steer the leadership of this great house and discharge your duties as one of our great national leaders. Mr. Speaker, it's also my pleasure to, on behalf of the leadership, to thank each and every member of this house, Mr. Speaker, for the show of solidarity, for the commitment they have shown in identifying with you in this, your socio-political history. It is indeed a milestone, and I also, on behalf of the House itself, thank and commend the show of solidarity and show of love by millions of other Nigerians out there for really identifying with you at this very important period of a milestone in your life history. Mr. Speaker, we thank God for your life, we thank God for your health, and we also thank God for your wisdom in the way and manner you discharge your responsibilities as the Speaker of the House of Representatives for the good of this honorable and hallowed chamber. We remain proud of you, Mr. Speaker. May Allah continue to bless you, bless your family, and bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, I therefore rise at this juncture to move that a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Crop Science and Food Technology, Lere, and for related matters, HB 1887, a Senate bill, be read the second time. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so respectfully move.
Honorable Booker Gana Kareto, approach the Chief Whip.
Honorable Koko, please second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Shehu Muhammad Koko from Kebbi State. I represent the good people of Koko, based at Mayama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to second the bill. I rise to second the bill as heavily moved by the Senate, by the House Leader. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I so second.
Thank you. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Title.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Crop Science and Food Technology, Lere, and for related matters. Second reading.
The bill is referred to the Committee of the Whole. Of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to repeal the Anatomy Act, Cap A16 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Anatomy Bill 2022 to provide for establishment of Anatomy Council of Nigeria, bring the practice of anatomy in conformity with current local and global realities, and for related matters, standing in the names of Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila and Honorable Tanko Sununu. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 13th October 2021. I now invite Honorable Sununu to move that the bill be now read the second time. Honorable Sununu.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, my name is Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu. I represent Yauri Shanga and Geski Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kebbi State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move for the second reading of a motion of a bill for an act to repeal the Anatomy Act of 2004 and enact the Anatomy Act 2021 to provide for the establishment of the Anatomy Council of Nigeria, bring the practice of anatomy in conformity with current local and global realities, and for related matters, with HB number 1637. Being sponsored by Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila and my humble self. Anatomy is the branch of science concerned with study of structure. Oh, so I should be read for a second time. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Musa. Okay, Pascal.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Dr. Pascal Chigozie Obi. I represent the very good people of Idato North, Idato South Federal Constituency. I'm from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the bill ably moved by my colleague, Honorable Tanko Sununu. Mr. Speaker, I so second.
All right, we'll put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. Title. So we're racing through the other paper. Yeah.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to repeal the Anatomy Act, Cap A16, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Anatomy Bill 2022, provide for establishment of Anatomy Council of Nigeria, bring the practice of anatomy in conformity with current local and global realities, and for related matters. Second reading.
Okay, the bill is referred to the Committee on Health Care Services. Commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Creative Arts and Innovative Enterprise, Yenagua, Bayelsa State, to provide for full-time courses, teaching instructions and training in creative and applied arts, education, innovative enterprise, information communication technology, humanities and talent management, and to provide for the appointment of the provost and other officers of the college to carry out the administration and the discipline of students of the college and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Steve Ezaki and Priye Oseke. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 23rd March 2022, and I invite Honorable Ezaki to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Priye Oseke. I represent Southern Indian Federal Constituency. I'm from Bayelsa State. I rise to move for a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Creative Arts and Innovative Enterprises, Yenagua, Bayelsa State, to provide full-time courses, teaching instructions, and training in creative and applied arts and management, and to provide for the appointment of the provost and other officers of the college, and to carry out the administration and the discipline of students of the college and for related matters, House Bill 1920, for second reading. I so move.
Honorable Halims.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Abdullah Ibrahim Halims is my name. I'm from Kogi State, the most peaceful state. I represent the good people of Ankpa, Omala, of Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion as Honorable Priye Oseke. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Those in support of the motion as moved by Rep. Priye and supported by Representative Halims, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Creative Arts and Innovative Enterprise, Yenagua, Bayelsa State. Provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in creative and applied arts, education, innovative enterprise, information communication technology, humanities, and talent management, and provide for appointment of the provost and other officers of the college to carry out the administration and discipline of students of the college and for related matters. Second reading.
Refer to Committee on Tertiary Education and Services. The day's commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Agriculture, Ibadan, Oyo State, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Stanley Olajide. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 14 July 2021, and I invite Honorable Olajide to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Adedeji Stanley Olajide, representing the people of Ibadan, Northwest, Southwest Federal Constituency of Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I rise to move on a bill for an act to make provision for the establishment of the Federal University of Agriculture, Ibadan, Oyo State, and for other related matters 2020. Recall, there is an existing College of Animal Health Production Technology, Ibadan, Oyo State. And this bill seeks to upgrade the same Federal University to Federal University of Agriculture, Ibadan, Oyo State. Honorable members recall that this bill was read the first time 14th July 2020. I rise to move this bill to be read for the second time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
Okay, Honorable Bagos.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Right Honorable colleagues, I am Dachu Musa Bagos. I rise to second the second reading of the bill for an act to establish Federal University of Agriculture, Ibadan, as moved by all.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk, please read the long title.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Federal University of Agriculture, Ibadan, Oyo State, and for related matters. Second reading.
The bill referred to the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions. Honorable members, the fifth order of the day is a motion on rescission. Standing in the name of Honorable Abubakar Hassan Fulata, Honorable Fulata is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Hassan Fulata. I represent Borneo Agrika Samaguli Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Jigawa State. Honorable colleagues, decision on the referral of a bill for an act to establish Electoral Offences Commission and for related matters, House Bill 753, pursuant to Order 9, Rule 16 of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives. House notes that on Wednesday, 14th July 2021, a bill for an act to establish Electoral Offences Commission and for related matters was referred to the Committee of the Whole. Also notes that bills on the same subject matter are pending before the House, hence the need to rescind the resolution on the bill to further consolidate with other bills. Resolves to rescind the decision on the referral of the referred rescind decision on the referral and further consolidate the bills. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, sorry, what are we rescinding?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, you may recall that on Thursday last week, an issue was raised by Honorable John Day on his bill on the Electoral Offences Tribunal. He protested, and rightly so, that his bill came earlier than the other two bills that were consolidated. And the House resolved that we should rescind our earlier decision and also include Honorable John Day's bill and also make him the lead sponsor of the decision. So hence this motion to rescind our earlier decision and then consolidate all the other bills, including that of Honorable John Day, into one. That's the intent of this motion.
Thank you. Honorable John Day, please second.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, Dr. John Day is my name. I'm a Benue man from Boko Taka Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion raised by the Chairman, Rules and Business. I so second.
Those in support of the rescission, and please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. Motion on need to investigate the non-payment of pension arrears of retired federal service civil servants by the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate. Standing in the name of Honorable Sejus Ogun, Honorable Ogun is invited to move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, and my highly esteemed colleagues, I'm Sejus Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast, and I'm from Edo State. Need to investigate the non-payment of pension arrears of retired federal civil servants by the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD. The House notes that Section 88(1) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended empowers the National Assembly to conduct investigations into the activities of any authority executing or administering laws made by the National Assembly. The House is aware that Section 14(2)(b) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended provides that the security and welfare of the people of Nigeria shall be the primary purpose of government. The House is also aware that Section 32(b) of the Pension Reform Act, Cap P4, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, saddles the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, with responsibility of carrying out functions aimed at ensuring the welfare of pensioners. The House is informed that the pensioners under the Defined Benefit Scheme of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, are reportedly owed monthly pensions and gratuities for a cumulative period of 9 months. The House is disturbed by the claim that the failure of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, to pay pensioners under the Defined Benefit Scheme for the said period of 9 months is as a result of technological glitches. The House is cognizant that the failure of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, to pay pensioners monthly pensions and gratuities based on technological glitches amounts to gross incompetence and ineffectiveness on the part of PTAD. The House is also cognizant that the claim of PTAD that technological glitches which caused it to be in arrears of pension and gratuities is in the domain of the Accountant General of the Federation and Government Integrated Financial Management System, GIFMIS, is unacceptable. The House resolves to 1. Invite the head of service of the Federation, Accountant General of the Federation, Director General of the National Pension Commission, Executive Secretary of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, to appear before the Committees on Pension and Public Service Matters and provide explanations for the non-payment of pensions and gratuities to retired federal civil servants for 9 months. 2, mandate the Committees on Pension, Public Service Matters and Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance with this resolution and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, I so move.
Honorable Priya.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Priye Oseke. I represent Southern Ijaw Federal Constituency. I'm from Bayelsa State. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by Honorable Sergius Ogun. I so second.
We put the question on Honorable Sergius Ogun's motion on pensions, non-payment of pensions. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Seventh order of the day is a motion on the need to establish the Nigerian Television Authority, LANLATE. Is that what that is? LANLATE. Ibarakwa, East area of Oyo State, starting the name of Honorable Oluyemi Adewale Taiwo. Honorable Taiwo is invited to the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Oluyemi Adewale Taiwo is my name. I represent the good people of Ibarakwa East Ido Federal Constituency area of Oyo State. I have a mention on the need to establish Nigeria Television Authority, LANLATE, Ibarakwa East area of Oyo State. The House notes that the Nigeria Television Authority is one of the agencies of the Federal Ministry of Information established by the Nigeria Television Authority Act, Cap N24, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. House also notes that the National Television Authority is the national broadcasting network for Nigeria, mandated to provide services in the interest of Nigeria and imparted television broadcasting for general reception within Nigeria and beyond. The Nigeria Television Authority, which is the largest network in Africa, serves as the medium for the African content to tell the African story. Aware that Lanlata is the first link to the outside world in terms of communication, as it is the best receiving signals, and that was why the first satellite communication earth station in Africa was sited in Lanlata. They are also worried that only the Barakwa area has no Nigeria Television Authority in Oyo State are sited in Ibadan, Oyo, Ogumosho, and Shaki Okeogun. The House acknowledges that establishing an NTA station in Lanlata, the Barakwa area of Oyo State, will boost the economy of the area and provide job opportunities for the unemployed youth in the constituency. The House hereby resolves to urge the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture to establish Nigeria Television Authority in Lanlata, Barakwa area of Oyo State. Secondly, the House also resolved to mandate the Committee of Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Value to ensure the establishment of the station in Lanlata and report back within 6 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I still remain Honorable Abia Musa Aga, member representing Jos North, Bassa Federal Constituency. I'm from Plateau State. I rise to second the motion, ably moved by my colleague and neighbor. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Gaya, Mahmoud Gaya, do we put the question or you want to contribute? We put the question? Do you want to speak against?
No, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. You are in support of the motion?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Really? Okay, we have a supplementary other paper. On a full letter, you have a...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Safulata. I represent Plenary Krika Samaguri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, position on the report of the Committee on Air Force and Justice on investigation on the alleged use of excessive force and abuse of due process by the Nigerian Air Force against Blue Boulevard Limited pursuant to Orders 9, Rule 16 of the Standing Order of the House of Representatives. House notes that on Tuesday, 13th July 2021, the report of the Committee on Air Force and Justice on investigation on the alleged use of excessive force and abuse of due process by the Nigerian Air Force against Blue Boulevard Limited was considered and adopted. Also note that emerging issues necessitate the decision in order to accommodate the issues by way of further amendment of the report. House resolved to rescind its decision and commit the report for reconsideration in the Committee of the Whole. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Koko, we have emerging facts that makes you want to rework the report?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So do you want a second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As directed, sir. My name is Honorable Shehu Koko from Kebbi State. I represent the good people of Koko, Bessie, and Mayama Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the Chairman, Rules of Business. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure it was ably moved. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. The next order of the day is consideration of report of the committees on Air Force and Justice on investigation of the alleged use of excessive force and abuse of due process by the Nigerian Air Force against Blue Boulevard Limited. Honorable members will recall that the report was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Tuesday, 28 July 2022. Honorable Shehu Mohammed Koko will move for his consideration. Wow. Honorable Koko, you're very powerful in this house. You just moved for rescission and it's ready for consideration. Well done.
Thank you, sir. On the leave of the Speaker, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Move your motion for.
Thank you, sir. My name is Honorable Shehu Koko from Kebbi State. I represent the good people of Koko, Besi, and Mayema Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to move the House do receive and consider a report of Nigerian Air Force Committee on the Justice on the investigation of the alleged use of excessive force and abuse of due process by Nigerian Air Force against the Blue Boulevard Limited, and further the recommendation therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Is Honorable Maki here to second this motion? Honorable Maki. Or do we step it down for Honorable Maki to come as second? Chibok.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Ahmed Hababa is my name. Chibok Damboa Goza Federal Constituency is where I represent. I rise to second a motion ably moved by the Chairman Air Force, Honorable Shehu Koko. I hereby second. Thank you.
Thank you. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. It is moved that the House will resolve it to the Committee of the Whole.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I remain Ado Dogwa, Mr. Speaker. By the leave of the House and by the grace of Allah, the leader of the 9th House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, I rise.
Hold on, leader. I think there are other matters before that. I just saw that. I was going through only the supplementary paper. There are other matters for consideration. Sorry about that. So we'll go straight to, sorry about that, leader. The 8th order of the day is a consideration of a report for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal University of Technology, Auchi, Edo State, and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Wednesday, 13th April 2022. The leader will move for its consideration. Leader, 8th order of the day. You have to move for its consideration.
Yes, sir. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I rise to move that a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal University of Technology, Auchi, Edo State, and for related matters, HB 527, be considered by this honorable House. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Honorable Chidoka, please second. Honorable Chidoka, where is it? Please second. Leader, where is Honorable Chidoka to second your...
Chidoka is not on the floor, as far as what my eyes can tell me. Honorable Chidoka.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Oh, he's there. Is the Concosia cap that maybe he was hiding away?
You look so much like your brother.
So this is not Osita, this is Obina Chidoka, sir.
Yeah.
Your friend. Obina Chidoka, member representing Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency of Anambra State. I rise this afternoon to second the motion as ably moved. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Is commence consideration of a bill for an act to repeal the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Act (CAP) R3LFN 2004 and enact the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Act 2022. And for related matters, honorable members will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Wednesday, 22nd of June 2022. The leader will move for its consideration. So, leader, you might as well move all the.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for that leave of the chair, sir. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I rise to move that a bill for an act to repeal the Raw Material Research and Development Council Act, Cap R3, LFN, Laws of the Federation 2004, and enact the Raw Material Research and Development Council Bill 2022 and for related matters, HB 47, be considered by this honorable House. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I once again equally move that a bill for an act to make provisions for retirement age of staff of legislative houses in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 1473, be considered by this honorable House. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, I so respectfully move. Thank you.
Okay. The leader will move that the House resolve to the Committee of the Whole to consider the bills and the reports.
Mr. Speaker, does it mean that I will also suspend our rules to allow you to preside over the Committee of the Whole? But the DS is...
Where's the Deputy Speaker?
It's just gone out to pray. But I've sent for him, sir. I've sent the Sergeant at Arms to bring him back.
Before you finish, he'll come.
Okay. What do I do, sir?
Well, let's go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to move that this honorable House do resolve to Committee of the Whole to consider reports. And may... Do we suspend? Okay. Mr. Speaker, honorable members,
I don't know, wait. Okay. Honorable Samson, please second that we resolve to the committee of the whole. I believe that was the...
Yes. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Samson, please, my name, represent the good people of the Federal Constituency. I second that the House move to the committee of the whole. So second.
All right, so those in favor of this say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. Committee of the whole.
Honorable Aminu Goro, please approach the leader of the House. Approach me. It's not about the size of the shirt I'm wearing. It's about my office. It doesn't matter which size. Aminu, it doesn't matter which size of the gown you're wearing. It's not about the size of our shirts.
Respected colleagues, the first bill to consider is for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal University of Technology, Auchi, Edo State, and for legal matters. And I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the bill.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, my respected colleagues, my glasses. My badge. Sorry, sir. Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I remain Alhassan Ado Dogwa, representing the good people of Dogwa, Chudumwada Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, sometimes by extension, I represent the metropolitan people of Kano State, including Paje Federal Constituency, to be specific. My respected colleagues, this bill is just being represented, Mr. Speaker, to this floor for reconsideration. It was a bill that was passed by the National Assembly, implying the joint chambers, the Senate and the House, presented to Mr. President for assent. But by omission or commission, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, the time frame, the period meant for it for presidential assent elapsed. And for only that reason, this bill is brought back to the floor of the House today. And I reliably learned that it was also taken back to the floor of the Senate, and the Senate has revisited it and has passed it. So I think this is a straightforward business of our legislative dealings today. Mr. Speaker, I crave your indulgence, your chairman, and I crave the indulgence of the respected members on the floor today to allow this bill to pass with the speed of the light. I'm sure if we do that, Honorable Johnson Oguma will be glad. His people will be glad. And I believe our leader of the ruling party, Right Honorable His Excellency Adams Oshomole, will also be glad if we reconsider this. Thank you.
Thank you. I suppose not just that the bill have been returned or for us to take it back, but there are observations that were done, which I believe it has been complied with. The observation from the... You were the one that told me that. So you are peddling wrong information. Thank you. Clause 1. You have to lobby Goro for you to get the appeal signed. Clause 3. Clause 8. Clause 10. Clause 17. Clause 19. Clause 27. Explanatory memoranda. Respected colleagues, the second bill to be considered for an act to repeal the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Act, CAP, R3 Law of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Raw Materials Research Development Council Act 2022 and for late matters. And I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable members. A bill for an act to repeal the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Act, CAP, R3 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Raw Material Research and Development Council Bill 2020 and for related matters. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, like I earlier said, this is also a straightforward bill. It is intended at curing some defects, legislative defects, in the original or the principal act. And I think doing that is in concurrence with our constitutional responsibility here as members of the House of Representatives and by extension, the legislative institution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, we are custodians of Nigerians' laws. We are also the makers of Nigerians' laws. And when you find defects in existing acts, we bring back the principal act, look at it, and make amendments. Mr. Speaker, in this spirit, I would like to urge my respected colleagues, including John Day of the APC, as he was, to please concur and support this bill without any hesitation, please. It's not a partisan bill, so John Day, I would like you to be on board. Thank you.
John Day, I have an objection. Is he having objection? Let me hear from him. Are you having objection? I've just asked a simple question. I'm not asking for explanation.
I am proudly PDP, sir.
Are you having objection?
No objections, but I'm
Thank
proudly
you.
PDP.
Take your seat. Well, leader, possibly being selfish, I will have asked for the bill to be taken back to committee to do the needful, because it's fell short of our standard in actual sense. I may be selfish. What they did here was to take out the clauses for the amendment, without us seeing the remaining clauses in the Principal Act, which is not our normal tradition. Our tradition is that you bring out the entirety of the bill and then you indicate where you are making the amendments. Yes, sir.
Sir, in that regard, I don't think we are not doing any harm, sir, if we actually stick to what is right. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, as long as you raise this as a defect in our normal and conventional proceedings as a House, Mr. Speaker, I would like to urge your indulgence and also crave the leave of members of the House that we step it down and let's do exactly what we are supposed to do as lawmakers. Mr. Speaker, this will lay precedents.
Thank you.
And it will also help to impact on our perfection as a legislative institution. So, Mr. Chairman, I move that this bill be stepped down and be addressed appropriately.
Chairman rules. As you try to conserve your resources, give us the...
Yeah, Mr. Chairman,
I'm not asking, I'm just giving you...
Yes, but I want to also make an appeal, Mr. Chairman. I want to crave the indulgence of the House to approve, and then we report back that we have done what is supposed to be done. Just let us approve this.
What is your special interest?
I have no interest, sir.
You have no interest?
I agree that
do the right thing. Yes. If you don't have interest, do the right thing.
I accept the bill should be stepped down by
Thank you. Bill stepped down by the leave of the House.
Honorable Plata, please be guided by the chair.
No interest at all.
Be guided, please. And you must also
The
respect...
third bill to be considered for an act to make provisions for retirement age of staff of legislative houses in Nigeria and for related matters. And I invite the leader to give the signature of the bill.
Mr. Chairman, before the leader speaks, the sponsor of this bill, the Chief Whip, has requested me to step down the consideration of this bill by the leave of the House. I so move that the bill be stepped down by the leave of the House. So move.
Did you consult with the House leader?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, of course he did. And I find no problem stepping down this bill for appropriate legislative consultations.
Thank you. Consideration of the bill stepped down by the leave of the House. Respected colleagues, the first report to be considered is that of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish National Institute of Industrial Technology, Kwale, to provide for the functions and management and for related matters. I now invite Honorable Aminu to give the synopsis of the report.
Chair, honorable colleagues, I'm from Kano State, and my name is Comrade Aminu Sulaiman. I represent Page Federal Constituency. Honorable Chairman, honorable colleagues, I move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish National Institute of Industrial Technology, Kwale, to provide for its functions and management and for related matters, HB 946, and approve the recommendation therein. Honorable Chair.
Do you have the report? Yes, I do. Of Kwale? Are you from Delta? No. Are you from Delta? Okay.
That it has been circulated to honorable members, except one or two that
Are you sure? The chair himself doesn't have the report.
Oh, the chair, then rule and business should be held accountable for this. Report of this. You have not circulated to members. Why?
Where?
So,
the cabals. Okay.
Those who do not have a perpetual absentees in the house.
As I'm talking to you, the secretariat here don't have the report. I don't have the report.
This is serious. I withdraw myself.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to, if you allow me to speak on behalf of the sponsor of the bill, that when he came in, and I think every other member could notice that the man, Honorable Goro, was speaking in very low tones. So when you have one person who is married to only one wife, and you hear him talking in low tones, he had an issue right from home. So I would like to plead to members not add to his problem, please. For those who have not gotten the report in their hands, let's give him that concession. And when he gets back, let him face one trouble, not two troubles, please.
Thank you. And I think I will second from the chair the motion moved by the leader.
Chair, you know very well my position, and this is on tape. It's creating problem. I have two wives. You now say I have one, and the other one here.
Well, he has 4. So when you do ratio 1 to 2,
Chairman,
it will mean you.
With you, sir.
I don't know. Honorable Lata, help us with the report. This bill had been stepped down severally. And that's why when I saw it, I was even asking the clerk as to whether we have done the consideration, so that we do not again step it down. If you can give us the report, we'll quickly do the consideration.
Mr. Chairman, I want to personally apologize, really. But in fact, even the report that I thought is that of the committee. The secretariat just told me that they do not receive any report on this bill from the Committee on Tertiary Education.
How did you have it?
I don't have it.
You don't have it.
That's
You
why I'm
admitted you
apologizing.
have.
So
I don't mind sir stepping it
Chairman,
down, but I am sure let him cross-check with his secretariat. Formal exchanges have been done, and a lot of members have.
It is my committee secretariat that is telling me that they have not copied. They have not received copy from the committee.
Well, I want to at this point refuse to accept your explanation. First, you are the one that did the planning in terms of the scheduling as to what we are going to do for the week. And so you couldn't have scheduled this without you having the report.
Indicted, yes.
Except if there are other intrigues that are going on there, so that we'll not get to know.
Intrigues, Mr. Chairman.
Let's accept this. How does the report got to paper order? You didn't have it.
Mr. Chairman, let us step down.
Thank you. Please, I will beg the secretary to come properly your office so that we can have the report tomorrow and do the consideration. And no, they should come there this time. Yes, because I believe they have the report. That's why they schedule it. And where you cannot get it lies with the chairman education. So consideration of the report stepped down by the leave of the House. believe that's the same for that of the report on the Committee on Interior. Do we have it? Huh?
That was a very good.
The second report for education is the same thing. Jebude Ijesa, step down but leave of the House. Chairman on Education, approach the chair and maybe alongside it, the chairman, no, not chairman rules, leader. Respected colleagues, the third report to be considered is that of Committee on Interior on a bill for an act to repeal the Immigration and Prison Service Board Act Cap 1-2 Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Civil Defense Corps, Correctional, Federal Fire and Immigration Services Board Act to provide policy direction to the corps and services and appoint, promote, and exercise disciplinary control over officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Federal Fire Service, Nigerian Correctional Service, and the Nigerian Immigration Service and for related matters. I now invite on Nasiru Sanizan Kondara to give the synopsis of the report and send it, inshallah, to be.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Nasiru Sanizan Kondara. I'm from Katsina State, representing Zango-Bore Federal Constituency. I move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Interior on a bill for an act to repeal the Immigration and Prison Services Board Act, Cap 12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Civil Defense Corps, Correctional, Federal Fire, and Immigration Services Board Bill to provide policy direction to the Corps and services and appoint, promote, and exercise disciplinary control over officers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Federal Fire Service, Nigeria Correctional Service, and the Nigeria Immigration Service, and for related matters, HB 1859, and approve the recommendations therein. I so move.
You have gone wrong. At this time, it's consideration. What they are supposed to do is a synopsis of the bill. Eh? No, I won't carry on. His experience, he wants to go to the red chamber.
Let me give you the synopsis.
Thank you.
All right. The bill, in summary, seeks to establish the board to adequately reflect the current relationship between the board, corps, and services and align their composition, structure, functions, and practices to attain the intended mandate of the services. Basically, the board started in '86 when the then President General Ibrahim Babangida, through decree number 14 of July '86, that is the Customs, Immigration and Prison Services Board decree, enacted the Customs, Immigration and Prison Services Board. Thereafter, in 1992, the Nigeria Customs Services Board Act of number 45 of 92, which is now CAP N100, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2010, was enacted, and the Nigeria Customs Services was removed from the Customs, Immigration and Prison Services Board and placed under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Finance. The board's name was changed to Immigration and Prison Services Board under the Immigration and Prison Services Board Act, Cap 12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. With the establishment of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in 2003, the administration of the Corps was placed under the board by virtue of Section 2, Subsection 1 of the NSCDC Act, Cap N146, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2010. This bill went through second reading on Thursday, 17th March 2022, and was thereafter referred to the Committee on Interior for further legislative action. The Committee on Interior subsequently held a public hearing on Wednesday, the 30th of March 2022, where various stakeholders, including the Nigeria Immigration Service, Nigeria Corrections Service, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the Federal Fire Service, and the board, submitted their memoranda. The various memoranda truly aided the committee in its report, and by the proposed report, Mr. Chairman, respected colleagues, when passed into law, the board will be empowered to formulate general policy guidelines for these agencies in relation to the appointment, promotion, and disciplinary measures of persons of grade level 08 and above. And also,
well, Honorable Nassim,
yes, sir.
You are giving us history of your own bill, not the synopsis.
But I did give the synopsis at the beginning.
No, thank you. Grateful.
What am I supposed to give as a synopsis then?
I will do the consideration, but next time you have to see leader properly for proper guidance.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Leader, I say next time he has to see you for proper guidance.
But leader doesn't want to see me, sir. Okay.
Because you should know that you are not yet a senator, you are still a member of the House of Representatives. So you better trim your beard. You are not yet the tissue.
Plus 1. 4. Plus 5. Plus 5. Plus 5. We are fighting 5. Plus 6. Plus 9. Plus 10. Plus 11. The schedules to be managed.
Mr. Chairman, I really wanted to speak on Honorable Manu. I don't know whether you are hitting on the same point. If you allow me.
Okay.
Sir, I want to draw the attention of Manu and by extension all other members that committee of the whole, sir, is a formal proceeding of the House. So every member, except if such rule is suspended, is expected to be on his seat. And I do not see any reason why, when you have more ranking members of the opposition, you allow a 6-month-old member of the opposition to come and take the lead here. So I think members of the opposition, especially Sergio's place, next time when you have ranking members of the opposition, you don't allow 6-month-old members of the opposition to take the leadership position, sir. That is my Chidoka, please.
I think the leader is trying to guide the opposition as to no. In parliamentary sitting, there's no. In parliamentary sitting, excuse me. in parliamentary sitting what you are supposed in accordance to your own age, and even if you are going to see it, irrespective of our decision, that respect must be there. And no, he's trying to save you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman.
Well, the chief whip has been in the house. He has been in the. It's not the first. It's not about the first time. Now he has been in the house. He's talking about the month it took my brother or Manu to show his identity, so that he can secure his ticket. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, it's not about a bright, brilliant white gown that you wear, or the way you place your cap on the forehead.
I'm with you 100%.
It's about how many times you've been to this house.
I'm with you 100%. John Day, did you hear the challenge? And it will continue.
Is interfering in PDP business.
No, he's guiding you. He's the leader of the house.
Not leader of PDP, sir.
Look, joint task force.
Please, you should be guided, please. House has tradition.
Leader,
we have convention, please.
The next report, colleagues, is consideration of report on the Committee on Air Force and Justice on investigation on the alleged use of excessive force and abuse of due process by the Nigerian Air Force against Blue Boulevard Limited. Honorable, all members will recall the report was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Tuesday, 28 June 2022. Honorable Shehu Mohammed Koko will move for the consideration. Not moving now. You are giving out the synopsis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Shehu Mohammed Koko from Kebbi State. I represent the good people of Koko, Bessie, and Mayama Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I rise to move that the House do reconsider the report of the Committee of Air Force and Justice on alleged use of excessive force and abuse of due process by Nigerian Air Force against the Blue Boulevard Limited. I approve the recommendation therein. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, the House note that the new emerging issues necessitate the reconsideration of the report in order to accommodate the issues by way of further amendment of the report. I so, Mr. Speaker.
Well, I thought it has already been moved. The stage we are is the synopsis, because we are in the Committee of the Whole already. But let me help. This report was earlier on considered sometimes last year, July, precisely about a year now, with the hope that what was done was going to be taken into cognizance. It's a Nigerian that have invested so much in the project, like it's mentioned. But I think because it didn't have the concurrence of the both chambers, the executive advised for us to get to consider it, and that is why we're taking the matter again today. Simple. It was done before. The House has approved whatever recommendation they had at the Air Force, and so the little amendment have come is for us to now do and then send it to the Senate for concurrence. Thank you. Recommendation 1. Three and 4. 3. Leader, move that we refer to plenary to report progress.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues. I rise to move as directed that this House do revert to plenary to report progress. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I so move.
Honorable Gordon.
I rise to second the motion moved by representative of representative of the rural area leader Alassane Adoduba.
Representative of
rural areas. Leader.
No, not in this. In this chambers, he's the leader of the House.
I said so.
No.
But he's a representative.
No, leader of the house.
Sir, he's first a representative of where he comes
Leader of the house.
Okay, leader of house and representative of the rural community.
No.
Thank you.
Well, unfortunately for you, maybe you are not more than 1% of our number here. Most of us and the greater part of us are from the rural area, and we are proud of it. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. They are submit. Plenary to report progress. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal University of Technology, AUCHI, Electoral and for related matters, and approve clauses 1 to 28, the schedules and explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on a bill for an act to repeal the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Act, CAP, R3, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Bill 2022, and for related matters, step down consideration of the bill for further legislative action. The House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on the bill for an act to make provisions for payments of age, for retirement of age of staff of the legislative houses in Nigeria and for related matters, and step down consideration of the bill for further legislative action. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on the bill for on tertiary education and services, on a bill for an act to establish the National Institute of Industrial Technology, Kwale, to provide for its functions and management, and for related matters, step down consideration of the report for further legislative actions. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on the bill for an act on the Committee on Tertiary Education and Service on the bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the Federal College of Agriculture, Ijebu, Jesa, Osun State, and for related matters, step down consideration of the report and for further legislative action. The House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee of the Interior on a bill for an act to repeal the Immigration Prison Services Board ACAP 1-2 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Civil Defense Corps Correctional Fire Immigration Service Board to provide policy direction to the corps and services, and appoint, promote, exercise disciplinary control over officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Federal Fire Service, Nigerian Correctional Service, and the Nigerian Immigration Service, and for these matters, approve clauses 1 to 32, the schedule, the explanatory memorandum of the law, and the long title of the bill. Finally, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on Air Force, of the Committee on Air Force and Justice on investigation on the alleged use of excessive force and abuse of due process by Nigerian force against the Blue Boulevard Limited, and approve clauses 1 to 4 of the report. Leader, move for the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my respected colleagues. At this point in time, I rise to move that this Honorable House do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as reported by the Speaker in the chair. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Yes. Acting Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Shehu Mohammed Koko from Kebbi State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the leader of the House. I so second it.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's it. Chairman rules. Move that we will suspend our rules to enable us to approve the votes and proceedings of today. No, because of the report that we have to send to Senate for concurrence.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Fulata. I represent Borneo Akrika Samaguri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that we do suspend our relevant rules to enable us adopt the rules, adopt the votes and proceedings of today's sitting. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Mazi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Benjamin Okezekal. I represent the people of Nigeria, starting from Bandit Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, I rise to second the motion, ably move by the chairman of House Committee on Rules and Business. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Leader, move for the adoption of the approval of the votes and proceeding of today.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. I rise as directed by the Speaker that this House do approve for the adoption of the votes and proceedings of this honorable House for the obvious reasons that you have all heard from him. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I rise. My name is Shehu Mohammed from Kebbi State. I represent Koko Besi Mayama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to second the motion every moved by Leader of the House. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Move for the adjournment of the House to tomorrow.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I rise to move, that this honorable House do adjourn till tomorrow, Wednesday, the 29th of June, 2022 by 11 a.m. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so respectfully move.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Obina Chidoka, member representing Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency of Anambra State. I rise this afternoon to second the motion as ably moved by the Leader of the House. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Tomorrow, 11 a.m.